I got an email from my aunt today. As you know, the holiday season is upon us, and as I've mentioned in other videos, my aunt is quite Christian. So any email that she can forward on that, says that if you forward this on, you're doing God's work and whatnot, she will forward it on to everyone several times. Today I got one that it was not actually about the Christ part of Christmas. It was about the shopping part of Christmas. And it said how basically you have two options. You can either buy from Chinese companies, and because everything is made in China. Nothing's made in Japan or Korea or Vietnam or anything. It's all from China. So right there, the email was being very racist, grouping pretty much any non-Canadian country into being Chinese. And yes, literally, like it even dumped on the US, saying that all they do is support China, and that if you're not buying from Canada, you're buying from China. So that kind of ticked me off, that it was lumping like every manufacturer in the world into being a Chinese sweatshop. And that's not true. Anyway, it said that basically if you want to avoid buying from China, that you can use some of the following options. Buying from your local, businesses and stuff. But these are the gift ideas that it gave, okay? Word for word, this is what the email said as alternative gifts. Everyone, yes, everyone, gets their hair cut. How about a gift certificate for your local barber? Gym memberships. They're appropriate for all ages. I don't know about you, but I don't really want my 12-year-old daughter going to a gym after school. Okay? Unless I'm going with her. And even then, I don't think I'd feel comfortable with having my teenage or preteen child running around in workout outfits. You know what I'm saying, if you think about it. Who wouldn't appreciate getting their car detailed? Are you one of those extravagant gift givers who thinks nothing of paying for a Chinese-made flat screen as gifts? Perhaps the grateful receiver of the flat screen would rather have his driveway resealed, his lawn mowed for the summer, or his driveway plowed for the winter. Gee, I don't know. It takes me 5 minutes to mow my lawn. I have a very small lawn because I have flower beds everywhere. My point is that unless you have a really big lawn or a really long driveway or something, the flat screen is definitely the best gift there. So yeah, I'd rather have a flat screen, aunt, than have you plow my driveway. So thanks, but no thanks. The list goes on. This one's okay, really it is. There are a bazillion owner-run restaurants, all offering gift certificates. And if your intended recipient isn't the fancy eatery sort, how about a half-dozen breakfasts at the local breakfast joint? Remember, this isn't about big national chains. It's about supporting your hometown Canadians. How many people couldn't use an oil change for their car, their truck, or their motorcycle? Done at a shop which is run by a Canadian working man. Okay, no offense. But I'm one of those people who, if I was going to give a gift like that, I'd actually support my local mechanic woman. I think that they're really underappreciated. Women are just as good as men, as we all know, at doing these things. So, up that gift. Don't just give an oil change, but introduce them to a local garage that they may not have known about. And it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman mechanic at that point, but just, seriously, don't just go and buy from somebody you know. Introduce the recipient of these gifts to somebody that is in their area. You know? Anyway. How about mom would love the services of a local cleaning lady for the day, or perhaps having a local high school student tune up her computer. Lastly, there are local craft people who spin their own wool and knit scarves. They also make jewelry, pottery, and beautiful wooden boxes. Honestly, people, do you really need to buy another 10,000 Chinese-made lights for your house? When you buy a $5 string of lights, about 50 cents of it stays in Canada. If you have those kinds of bucks to burn, leave the mailman, trash guy, or babysitter a nice big tip. There's really nothing more I can say. Yes, I'm all for supporting our local businessmen and women, but there's nothing wrong with buying stuff made outside of Canada. And the reason I say this is, if you buy off of eBay, for example, or Craigslist, or Kijiji, you're buying from a local person. You may be purchasing a secondhand product that did come from out of the country, but at this point, you're not supporting non-Canadian. You're supporting, you know, Jenny Jones from BC, who's selling you her, you know, Kinects that her grandson loved. By the way, that's a real example. I bought a whole crap load of Kinects for my nephew this Christmas, and he has no idea, and it's so hard to surprise him, so I'm really happy with that. But that would just be one tiny little example of how I supported somebody financially in Canada by buying a secondhand gift, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I really encourage you, if you've got time this weekend, to hop online, check out eBay, check out Kijiji, check out Craigslist, and see what you can find for interesting gifts, and help support your local Canadian sellers. So anyway, that's my rant. So happy holidays to everybody, whether you celebrate Christian holidays, Hebrew holidays, Muslim holidays, pagan, etc., etc., etc. There are so many out there. So just, you know what? Go celebrate. Have a good holiday season, and Happy New Year.